Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. I don't know what happened there, but I basically just filmed myself putting my base on and that didn't get filmed. So doesn't matter, I'm just gonna quickly tell you what I've done. I've used the Lumilayer Primer to bring in a bit of, you know, a bit of juiciness and a bit of a glow. I used the Aqua Petit Jelly from Holika. This is supposed to be the darkest shade, so obviously not the best when it comes to inclusion, but hey. Again, I used it with a very thin layer, and I spread it around with a very fluffy brush, which is like the contour brush from Real Techniques. And that's the reason why I can get away with it. But the thing is obviously if you're anything more than like medium-ish, it's not gonna happen, which is a pity really, because when it comes to formulas, I mean, the reason why I use this foundation a lot this year is because when it comes to holding power and non-transfer, the Koreans are just the best out there. So it's a real pity that we don't have, you know, enough shades to suit everybody and include everybody. Hopefully someday, I don't know. I put on some Dior Maximizer. My tube is nearly gone on my lips because they were quite dry, so I'm letting that sit. To add in more coverage, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up a bit more foundation and I'm going to use it with the brush to just go over the areas where I need a bit more coverage. But the thing is, you see, that's the reason why I really use this foundation, is like I'm layering it and there is no cakiness at all. It's dewy without being greasy. It's awesome. If they could only do a few more shades so that everybody could get their shade, that would be so cool. In the center of my face, I did, just before I realized that it wasn't recording, I used the Bowing Cakeless Concealer from Benefit, just right here and under the eyes, to help with the dark circles. I'm not sleeping well at the moment, to say the least, so that helps. So anyhow, that's it for my base. And then putting that back in, we're going to need a bit of a bronzer. I'm going to use my Rephr P22 to apply it. And my go-to bronzer has been the Marc Jacobs Tantastic one, because one, it's massive, and two, I love the color. I just think that it's cool toned enough to give me a bit of contouring and warm enough to blend in. I use whatever is left on the brush to kind of like set the concealer I have on my eyes. And clearly that little spot there is not looking into disappearing for me, so let's just agree to ignore it, okay? So yeah, that's pretty much it. Bit of bronzer to give a bit of a nicer tone, and then To be honest with you, this year I've been quite random when it comes to using blushes. I've been using my usual as always. These are the Nars that I actually depotted, apart from this is a Dior powder. But these are all Nars. I have Orgasm at the top, then I have Amour, then I have Sin, then I have Lovejoy and Taj Mahal, and obviously I have a mini Orgasm and a Nars Albatros over there. So this is kind of like my Nars palette, because I don't know about you, but I hate the previous packaging they had, which had like this kind of like matte. It was gorgeous, but it really didn't hold up properly. So I'm using my Rephr 05, and I'm going to do, actually I feel like doing something different. So I'm gonna mix Lovejoy and Taj Mahal onto my brush. I'm just going to nicely blend it in. And you know, the reason why I love that bronzer is that it really goes with anything. And basically, I've been very good at using all my bronzers this year. And obviously, it's just cool that whatever I put as a bronzer, it kind of goes with whatever I set on top. So the whole idea is that. Then I'm using, I need a bit of a flatter brush. Yeah, I'm going to be using my Rephr 04, which is kind of like smaller, and I'm using Albatros just because I have it at hand. Whatever is left, I just put on the inner corners of my eye and underneath, so that, you know, I set it without bringing too much powder, and I highlight a bit on those areas. So the main brushes I've been using are the Nars or the Tarte Maison in Clay. They're both my favorites and they haven't changed this year. So then generally what I would do is I grab like a big brush, like the 16 from Rephr again. I'm not sponsored, although I wish. But yeah, and the palettes that I've been using a lot this year has been two eyeshadow brands for me, Viseart and Natasha Denona. These are mainly the ones that I've been using. I stopped using all my Jeffree Star stuff for some reason. I did use a bit of the, you can see them here, from the Too Faced, not often, but I did once in a while, and I would pick up some of my Tarte. But mainly 80%, 70 to 80% of the time, Viseart or Natasha Denona. Natasha Denona, I only have two palettes of hers. I have the Metropolis and the Sunrise palette. So if I wanted something like festive or kind of cool or a bit more glam, then I would go for Natasha Denona most of the time for some reason. And there you go, this one is gorgeous. I used it for like New Year's Eve and stuff. It's beautiful. It needs a bit of a clean up though. And from Viseart, I have the Libertine, which I haven't used much. This is probably the one that I used the least. Jesus, come on, open. Although it's gorgeous, it's really pretty. You see those colors? It's really beautiful, but I have not used it too much. I've used more of the of these ones. So my favorite for sure has to be Petite Pro 5, which is the Soleil one. The second one would be maybe either the Petite Pro Apricotine, which is the Petite Pro 4, or eventually I love the Warm Edit, and I'm gonna open them for you guys so you can see them. So the Warm Edit, for example, it's the palette that I for the very little travel that I did, it's the palette that I brought with me. So this is the Warm Edit, and then Soleil, I just love it. Woo, it's so pretty. It's so beautiful. Oh, I love it. So this is Petite Pro 5, which is named Soleil, and then we have Apricotine, which is totally up my alley, kind of like warm tones and you know, all that kind of thing. So today, most of the times what I did is I would just grab a tone that I wanted to go for. So I went kind of orangey, so I'm gonna stick with the Apricotine, and I'm gonna be using this shade over here. Oh gosh, I didn't keep the names of those. So anyhow, I'm gonna use this shade here, which is kind of like an orangey, and I'm gonna put that all over the lid. And this is what I've done 80% of the time. Because let's face it, guys, you fancy putting on some makeup, but it doesn't mean that you have to do something complicated, because at the end of the day, you are staying in. Now, if you fancy to do a full glam and stay in, you can, by all means. But if I just wanted a bit of a pick-me-up, this is what I would do 80% of the time. It's super easy. It took me longer to show you the palettes, guys, than putting in the actual eyeshadow. So as you know, Viseart is the best when it comes to anything that is easy to blend but has some payout. So easy peasy. Look at that. It just brushed a tiny bit of something. It's not too much. It's not nothing, so it's good. So I'm using this little blush. I like it because it's super tiny. Can you see the size of it? It's from the Morphe x Jaclyn Hill collection. It's the JH40, but any kind of like mini fluffy brush that you have will do. And I'm going to pick up this bronze color over here in the corner on that, and I'm just gonna put it on the lower lash line. Again, we're talking easy peasy, guys. It has to be quick, it has to be simple, but have some pizzazz, you know, but still have some impact. Again, super quick. I'm bringing whatever is left on my brush to the corner just to bring in a bit of definition, but not too much, just something super quick. And the eyes are almost done. I want to grab like a pencil brush, and this one is the 230 Luxe pencil from Zoeva. And I'm going to grab this gold color and add it right here. So this is the go-to, easy, super quick, kind of everyday look, but just enough glam to make you look awake and make you feel nice about yourself and do a bit of a pick-me-up. So when it comes to mascaras, the main ones I've been using are the Nars Climax, one of my faves for sure. The heroin make either the curl or the long, which is my faves. This one is one of my all-time favorites, the roller lash. And then finally, last but not least, the Better Than Sex mascara. These are the fourth ones. If I want something super natural, I'll go for the Canmake one, the heroin make. If I wanted a bit more of a long and clean lash, I'll go for the roller lash. And if I want volume and kind of baba boom, I go for these two. So today, because obviously, as we said, we're gonna do easy peasy, I'm just gonna grab the Canmake one. Again, this one is good for me because my lashes are really black and they're reasonably long. Plus, I don't really enjoy massive lashes. So, you know, you do you. So whatever's left on my brush, and I know this is gonna shock more than one person, but I'm just going to comb. My brush is like clean. And I can only do that, and guys, I only advise that you do that only if your eyebrows are as pitch black as mine are. I hate anything but black on my on my eyebrows, because you see from like 3 kilometers away that I've been messing with them if I don't. Okay, if I don't stick to black, I mean. So now what we want is a bit of a lip, and to be honest with you, this year mainly I either used lip balms, or if I wanted something nice and I really wanted something, you know, to give me energy and bump me up, then I would use the Eldridge lipsticks. This is Velvet Morning. I'm going to be using something a bit darker today. This is Ribbon. Oh, this is beautiful as well. But the one I want, ooh, Dragon. Yeah, let's go for Dragon. So these are normally matte. Take into account that. Mine is destroyed for some reason. It arrived like this in the package and I never managed to put it back. I'm really gutted about it, but you know, it's good. So I only use it like a stain because I kept the Dior Maximizer on and I applied the color as you saw, and then I just patted it in. But her formula is the best. The only spray I have at the moment is MAC Fix Plus. This happens to be the coconut version. I kind of went through quite a few products on my collection, to be honest. So that's probably the reason why I only have that one left. But it is one of my all-time favorites, so that's okay. Another one could be the All Nighter. I'm very classical when it comes to sprays. And that's it, guys. So this is my makeup today. It's very simple, as you can see. But this has been kind of like my go-to look during the year, because obviously during the quarantine, I felt the most at ease with something really simple, really easy, really quick, that I could do in no time and go on a Zoom call, or you know, just go to work when I had to, or anything like that. Okay, so listen guys, thank you so much for watching my video. If you enjoyed it and if you want to see my favorites of the year, feel free to subscribe and come back very soon. Take care. Mwah.